Good evening and welcome to the Muscatine Board of Education meeting, Monday, March 10th. Secretary, will you take roll call, please?
Sure. Director Connard.
Present.
Cooney.
Present.
DeBeat.
Present.
LaRue.
Present.
Phillips.
Present.
Schneider. Present. Short.
Present.
Quorum is present.
All right, I'll have you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Welcome to all of our visitors and our media representatives. The first agenda item we'll start with is our student board representative update. And we missed you last month, so you might have a lot for us.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll try to keep it short and sweet because we know that you have a long meeting ahead of you. But there has been a lot going on at the school recently. Student Council hosted Senior Survivor. Senior Survivor is a week-long event where contestants first raise money for their charities, then stay at the school for a week and do fun challenges. They stay at the school for like the whole week, including staying overnight. Some of the challenges included pool noodle fights, duck, duck, goose, and some swimming. 5 teams of 2 participated in Senior Survivor, and the winning team was Matthew Spees and Kristen Sayek. Their charity that they had selected was Michaela's Hope. Student Council also put on the Winter Thaw Dance on March 1st. And finally, Student Council took a few students to their Bettendorf Student Council Conference, where they build leadership skills and find ways to build community in the school. Then Key Club is hosting their annual talent show this Thursday on the 13th. Tickets are being sold during the week, and half of the profits from the talent show will go to a local charity, which will be determined later. The Key Club is, Model UN had their Washington, D.C. group go to Washington, D.C. on the 11th to the 17th of February. Students debated multiple topics ranging from the role of the International Criminal Police Organization and to the impacts of movies in the political environment. 15 MHS students went on the trip. Students met other delegates from all over the world. There were over 30 different countries that had delegates attending. And outside of the committee, students got to see several historic monuments, the Capitol building, and the White House. The Overwatch video game team placed 6th at the state tournament in Marshalltown on Wednesday. Muscatine dropped its opening match to Dallas Center Grimes 3-0, but rebounded with a 3-0 victory over Hampton Demont. The Muscatine Overwatch squad closed the season with a 3-0 setback to Williamsburg. Coach Vitali's team finished the year with a 7-3 record. Then FFA had its chapter season night. What is it called? Banquet. More than 425 people were in attendance at the Muscatine Ag Center. The FFA program also handed out $15,000 worth of scholarships to students. And then the band and orchestra are going on May 6th to their, the band and orchestra are having their spring, oh my gosh. I'm so tired, I'm sorry. On March 6th, the band and orchestra had their spring concert at the MHS Auditorium. They are leaving on Friday this week to go to their New York trip.
And then for sports, congratulations to Muscatine High School senior Kavion Hodgins on being named the Mississippi Athletic Conference Boys Basketball Player of the Year. Also, Muscatine's coach Luke Torelli was selected as the MAC Coach of the Year, leading his team to an 18-win season. Sophomore Sam Church was a second-team All-MAC recipient. Seniors Ian Church and Kate Doffelt and junior Spencer Baya were honorable mentions. In the girls' all-conference selections, Muscatine senior Macy Reno was honorable mention. Reno led the Muskies in scoring an average of 9.6 per game. Track practice officially started last week. Captains for the 2024-2025 girls team include Ava Boyer, Amelia Luna, Benediction Siwa, Ayla McLaughlin, Kensley Paul, and Isabel Koff. The Muscatine High School bowling season came to an end Wednesday morning at the Iowa Class 3A state tournament in Waterloo. Muscatine sophomore Zena Stolfus placed 6th in the girls' competition. On the boys' side, Muscatine had 3 finishers in the top 11. Eric Ford placed 7th, Derek placed 9th, and Gabe Donath placed 11th. Zena Stolfus competed with the 3rd best qualifying score with a 684 series bowling game of 213, 226, and 245 to reach the 8th player bracket tournament. The Iowa High School Athletic Association released its football district/groups for the 2025-2026 season Wednesday morning. Muscatine is in the Class 5A Group 6 with Davenport Central, Iowa City Liberty, Iowa City West, Linn-Mar, and Pleasant Valley. The Muskies will play each of those 5 schools in the regular season for the next 2 years. The season kicks off in late August. The National Interscholastic Swimming Coaches Association honored the 2024-2025 boys swim team with its Silver Academic Award, a team unweighted grade point average of 3.5 or higher. Additionally, seniors Nico Arcello, Joe McCleary, Colin Millage, and student manager Anna Boyer received individual honors with GPAs above 3.75. They joined nearly 100 former Muskie swimmers to earn this award. Less than 2% of the swimming athletes in the country are honored each year. The Muskies finished their season with an 8-2 dual record. And that's everything.
Have any questions or comments for them?
Thank you for the report.
All right. Next portion of our agenda are the citizen speaks. If anyone would like to speak, we invite you to the podium. I know we have a list. When you approach the podium, you'll have 3 minutes. Please state your full name and your address. Right, and per Iowa code, we cannot respond during this portion. Ken reminded me to say that, so sorry.
All right. Good evening. My name is Matt Miller. I live at 1778 North Isaac, and I'm here tonight as a concerned parent. I understand the district faces budgetary challenges, and I appreciate the board's dedication to responsible financial management. However, I want to express my deep concern regarding the potential retirement or departure of a teacher, specifically within the agriculture department, and the impact this will have on our students. My son is currently enrolled in the agriculture department, and I've witnessed firsthand the invaluable opportunities it provides. While he's pursuing a trade rather than a traditional college path, the skills and experiences gained in these classes are essential for his future success. He's been able to participate in events and gain practical knowledge that I never had the chance to experience during my own time in ag. I want to especially acknowledge Dave Tomatich, who was a crucial player in the growth of our ag department and has been a mentor to my son. The agriculture department offers a diverse range of programs that set our district apart. These programs aren't just about farming. They teach leadership, problem solving, and hands-on skills that are crucial for any career path. By maintaining these programs with experienced teachers, we solidify our position as a leader in the MAC conference. Diminishing these programs through teacher attrition risks undermining that leadership and limiting our opportunities for current and future students. I understand the need for financial prudence. However, I urge the board to consider alternative solutions to address budgetary concerns rather than potentially not replacing teachers in key roles. I believe community input can be valuable in finding creative solutions. I also believe that this department is one of the key reasons that students are able to find a career path before graduating. As parents, we have a responsibility to guide our children. However, the agriculture department, through its dedicated teachers, has played a pivotal role in helping my son discover a field where he can thrive. The mentorship and practical education provided are irreplaceable. I respectfully ask the board to prioritize the preservation of these critical programs and retention of experienced teachers, or backfilling these positions like those in the agriculture department. Please consider engaging with the community to find solutions that balance financial responsibility with the need to provide exceptional educational opportunities for all students. Thank you for your time.
We have Rochelle. Rochelle, yeah.
Rochelle Bonebreak, 1778 North Izard Avenue, Muscatine. Good evening. I'm here tonight as a concerned parent regarding the proposed changes to the agricultural department, specifically the potential elimination of Horticulture 1, Horticulture 2, and Forestry that are taught specifically by Dave Tomatich. These courses are recognized as science courses, fulfilling crucial requirements for college applications and future scientific studies. Removing these classes create a gap in our students' science education, a gap that will directly affect their ability to compete for college admissions and scholarships. I understand the board's need to address fiscal responsibilities. However, I want to emphasize the significant detrimental impact these changes will have on my daughters and many others' education and future plans. Both of my daughters are deeply committed to pursuing careers in veterinary science. These agricultural courses are not simply electives for them. They are crucial stepping stones towards their professional goals. Another significant thing to mention is 20 of the 24 seniors that attended the most recent ag banquet are going into an ag-related career. As a parent, I recognize my responsibility to educate and prepare my children for their future. I've actively supported their interest in veterinary science. To remove any of the current classes available undermines the hard work they've already put in and diminishes their chances of success. I also understand that the money set aside for these types of classes and programs are for the current students as well. It is not fair to remove their educational opportunities. I urge the board to reconsider the change proposes or cuts. The proposed changes or cuts. I believe we can find alternative solutions that address the district's financial concerns without sacrificing the quality of our students' education, particularly in critical areas like science and the agricultural department. We must prioritize our students' future. Thank you.
Eric? All right, go ahead, Camden.
Camden Furnace, 2758 180th Street, Muscatine, Iowa. Good evening. My name is Camden Furnace, and I am a 2024 graduate of Muscatine High School and a Muscatine FFA and Ag Program alum. I just wanted to express my strong support for maintaining current staffing levels within the agricultural department. I can say with the utmost confidence that the variety of classes that the Ag department offers, as well as a wide array of FFA competitions that I participated in, were absolutely crucial in developing my confidence, helping me decide an area of post-secondary education, as well as helping to develop my job marketing skills. The Muscatine Ag Program and Muscatine FFA pushed me to discover and develop my areas of interest like no other coursework during my career as a high school student. I am currently a student at Muscatine Community College, and upon graduating, I will be transferring to Iowa State University to pursue my degree in forestry with an emphasis in natural resources. I recently applied for a summer job with the Iowa Department of Natural Resources as a water patrol officer. Myself and 54 other individuals were invited to interview for 20 open positions across the state. The interview panel consisted of 12 conservation officers from the DNR. To say the least, it was a highly competitive and intimidating process. However, my MHS Ag classes and all the FFA competitions that I competed in as an MHS student have prepared me to face this kind of pressure with confidence. Ultimately, I was offered the position in Muscatine County. I have seen our ag program equip other students like myself for future success time and time again. I strongly urge you to maintain staffing levels in the ag department. Thank you for your time.
Were you foregoing? Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to? All right. Okay. We'll review the board target and goals report. A, students will graduate prepared for post-secondary options. We do have a presentation under this. Muscatine schools will utilize resources effectively and equitably, and students will learn in a positive and supportive environment. So we'll have our district career and academic plan presentation next.
Really quick, I'm going to pass down an updated presentation because there were a few typos in my original one, so I'll have Mr. Christopher pass those down. I will get to introductions here in a minute because it's part of the presentation, but tonight we're presenting on our district career and academic plan. This is a yearly presentation that we will make that regards our current class and course offerings around the areas of academic preparation and career preparation. So we have 7 sections that we're going to talk about tonight and kind of share with you. The portion that I'm really excited to share with you would be our work-based learning, because that is where a lot of our coursework makes it out into the real world. We'll have a quick student testimony, and then we will kind of end with some data and in regards to how we integrate it as a district. So what is the district career and academic plan, and why are we meeting tonight? So again, it's a yearly review that we do as a group. It's a roadmap for our students, and when I say it's a roadmap for our students, it includes their academic coursework that they engage in, but also through that academic coursework, how they can be prepared for college or any career upon graduation from Muscatine High School. The district career and academic plan begins kind of in the seventh grade, 8th grade time when counselors are coming down from the high school, and our counselors at Susan Clark Junior High are also working with students to start designating a pathway that they would like to pursue once they get to the high school. We meet as a team yearly. We will meet in April here coming up, and we take our data from the previous year, and that helps us kind of design a roadmap moving forward. And again, this is a very data-driven process. So tonight, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Morgan Moore. I'm one of the associate principals at Muscatine High School, and one of my roles is the Perkins budget coordinator. So anytime there is a Perkins budget request, that is something that I approve.
I'm Brandon Welsh. I'm a counselor at the high school, and I focus on work-based learning.
Danny Wolf, and I'm a school counselor at Muscatine High School.
Other members who are not present tonight, because we also have parent-teacher conferences going on, would be Mr. Sam Paul, who is one of our ag teachers, and he is an FFA advisor. Mike Truitt, an MHS teacher. He's also our head football coach. And we also include our regional planning partnerships with other school districts and business leaders here in Muscatine. So one of the first sections that I'll briefly kind of go over would be some of the interactions that our counselors start having in 8th grade. And what that looks like is that students start talking about and designing their 4-year plan when they come to Muscatine High School. And some of those things that take place during those course plannings would include counseling lessons by the junior high counselors. They will have some self-assessments that they do through different self-assessment programs. You'll see the term Naviance used here and there. And then, as you can see, when this starts to happen, it is February. And as both Mr. Welsh and Ms. Wolf will tell you, February is a very busy time of year for them right now, and March. Here at the high school, as far as course planning, so students are talking with their counselors in depth about a pathway as far as, do they want to pursue a secondary education? Do they want to pursue something within the trades or vocational areas? They start really designing their coursework to represent and reflect that. So March and February are very busy times for our counselors. They've been doing course selections for the last, I would say, 3 weeks. So they have been very busy with that. Section 4 is really kind of the meat and potatoes of this presentation, because work-based learning is one of the great experiences that we can offer with our partners here in Muscatine, and I'm going to have Mr. Welsh talk about that.
Thank you. This is good timing because I was going to try to sneak in to present to the board anyway, so this kind of fits in. First off, I want to thank all of our stakeholders for all of their support with work-based learning, from the district office to our admin to our community business leaders. I hate to say this and reveal this in public, but I don't think in the 4 years that I've been doing this, I've been told no with one of the ideas that I've had with work-based learning, or some of the supports that I need, be it from the school or the community. So it's been very supportive. I've also gone to conferences across the country and talked to a lot of other schools and I can tell you that work-based learning is a trending topic in education, if not one of the top trending topics. And I will tell you that we are ahead of the curve, in my opinion. And I truly feel like we have a good thing going here at Muscatine High School that is highlighted in our district. Before I get going here, that is Clayton Smith, a 24 grad in that picture. He was employed by Wurzbacher Services in West Liberty. I do usually like to use local, but we do use some county places as well too. I think kind of helped him define what he's doing, and one of the best welders, according to Mr. Leitner, that he's ever had. So they're very happy with him. So we do work off a continuum of work-based learning. It's not just the end result of internships or apprenticeships. We do start with career exploration all the way back into 8th grade, and K through 12 does this as well too, but I'm just going to focus on 8th through 12 now. The continuum is kind of seen up here, where we start off with an exploration stage, anything from classroom presentations, guest speakers, the Naviance program, which does a lot of self-interest inventories and matches careers to your interest and some of your answers. And then 10th grade year, our goal kind of is to have 1 or 2 career clusters defined by the end of your sophomore year. It doesn't have to be set in stone by any means, but helps us guide some further things. And then once we get into 11th and 12th grade, we start looking into some of those internships, apprenticeships, things like that give you some earn as you learn type of experience. So here's some of the numbers here, dating back to when we started this program and getting a little more intent with focusing on this and dedicating one counselor mostly for this. We've averaged around, between special ed and gen ed, about 50 to 70 students per year that are in real life internships. Most of those paid. They're earning elective credit as they do that. They're getting evaluated. They have supervisors, so it's a great opportunity for them. The apprenticeships, internships, from a student's aspect, go hand in hand, but the registered apprenticeships are official with the Office of Apprenticeship in Iowa, and they come away with an apprenticeship certificate as well too, and we've built those programs. Right now we have apprentices in IT, welding, and industrial maintenance within the community as well, and we're looking to build those. I will say, when you're thinking of work-based learning, a lot of people think of the trades. We have these in all areas, all career clusters as well. So we have students that are engineering right now. We have students in healthcare. We have a student who is interested in optometry and is working at Family Eye as a tech. We have a student interested in law that is helping in the legal office as well. So we have a wide range, not just the trades, in this field as well too. One of the best things up here that I think we can point out, one of the best statistics, and I'm really close to accurate on this. If I'm a percentage or point off, I apologize, but 28% of our students right now, of our seniors, are involved in either work-based learning or MCC career academies. And so there's some crossover between that 55, 60% that go on to post-secondary. There's some students in work-based learning that will do both, but I think that's a great number that addresses those students that maybe aren't going straight into college or post-secondary institutions. So we're giving those opportunities. We also embed many, yep, there we go. We also do embed a lot of these things into the classroom as well. We started a career exploration class a few years ago. This is the 24-25 numbers. We have 86 students that usually take it early on in their career, but we have a career exploration class that had 86 students. Strategies for academics success covers a lot of the steps to get to post-secondary or into a career, and those are for seniors. And then IJAG has a big career component as well. We talk about Naviance exploration. It's basically an internet server that covers self-interest and ties things to career, personality type, strengths. 81 to 91% task completion between all of our students, 9 through 12 at the high school, have completed that. And then we have a lot of things that are embedded within classrooms across all curriculum as well too. So we also have 50 students right now. They're in career academies. Some students are taking just a portion of them, but 50 are fully embedded in those. And right now we're at 75 with our job shadows for this year. So we feel like we're trending in a great place. I feel like it's a great opportunity for students. I really see the relevancy for school being tied in once a student sees what's out in the real world and what their career can lead to with some of the things that they're getting in class, especially for those students that maybe aren't as motivated. And so we would like to give you a little testimonial, student testimonial from Alex Padilla. He is currently working at Wolf Contracting and had a really big interest in getting into construction. He was in my office for a couple years trying to get me to get something open for him. So he had a big part in establishing that as well too, but I think he's doing really well, so I'll let him talk about his experience.
Hello, I'm Alex Padilla. I'm a senior at MHS. I'm a team captain for the varsity boys soccer team. I've taken almost every industrial class at the MHS, and I love them. They're great. The teachers are great. I love them all. Especially wood tech. Wood tech's definitely been the most beneficial to make me realize that hands-on is what I've wanted to do, and Kitzman had a big part in that. And you'll have these guys behind me. My current job has also made me realize that hands-on in like the real world is a lot more different than an office job or whatever. So yeah, I want to say a big thank you to these guys for dealing with me. Probably a pain sometimes, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Alex. And one more thing I did want to state, we are definitely willing within our school and our classes to work with businesses to meet their needs as well too. One example I can give, we send a lot of welders to Musco, and we have an absolutely fantastic welding program and a great instructor, but we don't do any aluminum welding. And so recently we've purchased a welding gun that was not cheap, but we got through a registered apprenticeship grant. And Musco is partnering with us to provide some other materials, so our students will now be able to get some more experience in aluminum welding leading into those apprenticeships at Musco.
So the essential components alludes a little bit to what Mr. Welsh has been talking about for the last few minutes, about all the opportunities that are embedded in our courses that we offer at Muscatine High School. Courses like Strategies and IJAG bring in consistently guest speakers from out of town. Classes like Ag 1 and Ag 2 recently had reps from Kent come in to do different like hiring opportunities, so kids can actually have an opportunity to sit down and do a Q&A with a rep from a local business. We have teachers who have great ideas a lot of the time and have great connections and relationships with our businesses here in Muscatine, so that has been very beneficial for a lot of our students. Our students benefit from not only those relationships, but the experiences that our teachers have at Muscatine High School. So that's kind of what the essential components allude to a little bit, is that they are getting career information, career exploration, and post-secondary exploration within our classes that we offer at Muscatine High School. Next, I'm going to have Danny talk a little bit about FAFSA, and then we'll end with district integration, and I'll share some information there and end with any questions.
So for those of you who don't know what FAFSA is, it is the application for the federal student aid. We utilize this for students going into post-secondary for their loans that they can pull out, their grants, and their work-study information. So it gives them an idea roughly of how they will fund their college experience. So this year, we have 320 kids in the senior class. We are currently at 139 completed for the FAFSA, which is pretty good because we have a lot of students who plan to go straight to the workforce this year or have plans to take a gap year. In our strategies classes specifically, 33 of the 61 that have enrolled this year have completed it, and I just found out that we'll have 5 more on this week's edition for the FAFSA as well. So our numbers are translating very well, and our students that take the strategies class are typically our first generation students who may not have thought about post-secondary or thought it was an option, and they've taken this and applied for that. This year we had a specific section for our English language learners as well, just so they have the same opportunities that all students have.
So to end, I just want to talk about how much our data drives what we're doing at the high school and what we're offering at the high school. So about 52% of our students will be enrolled in college, whether it's 2-year or 4-year school after graduation. Like Mr. Welsh alluded to earlier, 28% of our students are either in an internship or a current career academy. At least 83% of our secondary students have self-identified at least 2 career clusters before moving forward. We're going to continue to partner with local businesses and supports for our MHS students. An example of something that's driving course selection next year is that we have students who are interested in our Automotive 2 program. So that's a higher level of kind of car care. And that's because we have a teacher who's very passionate about car maintenance and doing a lot of complex things with cars, and that's going to be offered next year at Muscatine High School. And again, we will evaluate this, our DCAP, yearly as a team. Any questions for our presenters?
Basic one, and that is, are the kids required to take and go through anything that would help toward career counseling? How do you get kids wanting to, I guess should say, to be able to find out more?
So kind of when I was talking a little bit about our essential components, so many of our courses already offer different types of career exploration that at some point in some class they will be offered that experience. It is next to impossible not to have a class when you're a freshman or a sophomore that doesn't have any sort of career exploration tied to it.
Good. Thank you.
So, Brandon, when you go out and solicit businesses, or do they come to you, or after businesses hear about what we're offering, are they knocking on your door asking for internships or apprenticeships or anything like that?
Yeah, I'd say we're at the stage now where people are asking me for workers, and right now we have probably more kids ready to be employed than we have employers, but we definitely, it's kind of reversed in the last few years where I was going out to people to now people calling me a little bit. One thing we do a great job of at the high school is through course selection and through Naviance, where we meet individually with students one-on-one. We probably have 80% of students I have an idea of what they want to do as a career, even if it's a general area. Mm-hmm. So we kind of have a filtering process where if somebody is interested, I pull from that list and kind of go through the presentation, and then who wants to continue, who wants to interview, things like that. So. Okay, good.
John. Thank you. And thank you for sharing the information with us. I just have a quick question, and I know even though we are saying 80 or 83% of 9 through 12 grade have some sort of an idea, I'm sure when they go to college and so on, most probably a big percentage of them might change that career path. But I'm looking more on like that 17 to 20% who don't have any career path identified yet. Are we doing any special work with them in order to guide them or help them?
Yeah, so that's one thing that we highly push our career exploration class, because that class helps to identify, review all 16 career clusters, has guest speakers in, so that would be one example of something we would push. We probably do need to do a better job of working with undecided students, to be frank, but we could have undecided students come in that we narrow down at least the general area and do job shadows or some other things to get exposure.
Thank you.
One of the things that I could add to that is we have a lot of opportunities for field trips, so to different businesses. And I have an anecdote of a student who was very set on being an engineer, had toured John Deere, and based on that one experience, he changed his entire career path. Said, I knew I wanted to be an engineer, but then I changed my mind after like having this experience and wanted to be part of more of the automation piece. So field trips are also embedded within this as well.
Thank you.
Great program, great outcomes, win-win for the students and the employers too, but also, yeah, it sets the individuals up to get employed right out of high school. And after a couple years of employment, like myself, then you start to learn it's time to go back to college. It took me 6 years of swing shift to figure that out. But you're embedded with an employer, and a lot of employers have tuition reimbursement that allow these individuals to get through college debt-free also. So it's a great program to get them started on. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Move to the superintendent update.
So again, great presentation tonight from DCAP. Just a piece to note there to, those students who are participating in that work-based learning experience, the graduation rate is extremely high. So we know for a lot of kids, getting connected to what's next after high school is what helps hook them and keep them engaged and get them across the finish line. So we've been really happy with the continued work towards work-based learning and career exploration for the high school. I also wanted to say we had planned on trying to have our bowlers here tonight to recognize them for their state championship and their state place-winning performance, but apparently Monday night is a bowling league. And a number of them have paid a pretty good chunk of money to be a part of that. So at least right now, we're gonna have to wait for one of our next meetings to get the team here. So, but we will try to get them here to recognize them for their accomplishment. So I just want to talk through some funding pieces. We still do not know what SSA has been set at yet. Again, the Senate set it at 2%. The governor has also recommended 2%, and the House came in at 2.25%. But they also had some additional one-time monies associated with it, which certainly would be helpful. And especially for us where, we could use that to offset, some of the other levies to try to, again, manage some of our tax rate. There was a deadline. They've blown right through the deadline, but we hope they decide on that pretty soon. I think we feel pretty confident with the governor being at 2 and the Senate being at 2 and the House being at 2.25. We're probably going to be in that range, but certainly it would help to know what that is. We've moved through kind of the first funnel for bills. And again, the thing to keep in mind is even if something didn't get through the funnel, there are certain bills, appropriation bills, Ways and Means and so on, that can go through at any time. They're not necessarily subject to that funnel. And also as we get to the end, sometimes things get lumped back into bills, so they can pop back up in surprising places. So we continue to watch that very closely as we are moving through this session. And the last piece, just to, again, quickly share, we're keeping a close eye on that we haven't seen. We really, at least I really thought maybe the state legislators would look at some additional weighting for preschool. It's been talked about every single year. Right now we get 0.5 funding for those 4-year-olds and really looking at full, 1.0 funding. There was some conversation at our AEA legislator forum where our legislators were certainly supportive of that. We just haven't seen that play out. The governor's bill around early childhood is more of what I would call workforce development issue, and it's about continuum of care, like before school starts and after school starts, or after school ends, so that they can continue to work. They don't have to be worrying about. So it's partnerships with other community partners to create that continuum of care. And a piece of that we continue to watch closely is shared visions. because they, that's a grant that we've had for a number of years here that helps support that program. It supports 3 FTE and I think 8 or 9 support staff along with it. And typically that grant would be open and we have been applying for it, and it hasn't opened, and they're not really talking about it. So anytime the state does that, it makes me a little bit nervous that they have a plan and they're just not telling us what the plan is. But again, that could change. So, but where that impacts us is obviously we have to look at staffing and we have to hold positions. These teachers have been with us, the staff have been with us for a long time. So that's, as we think about where open positions are, we're certainly having conversation about that. And we're hopeful they will come out with some more information, because I think there's some community programs that are also waiting for that shared visions piece as well. It would affect, I think, the whole community, but certainly our preschool program as well. And again, I think the other thing we continue to watch is what happens at the federal level between our special ed funding and title funding. Our district has a little over $5 million of federal funds that we receive each year, and the vast majority of that is staff. It's class size reduction, it's title teachers, it's special ed teachers, para support, all those things. Now again, you hear everything from, well, it's going to be completely eliminated to it would be pushed to the states. And certainly the concern, a couple of concerns with that. One, at the federal level, it's very targeted for students who have the most need. It's based on your IEP numbers, it's based on free and reduced lunch, and that's how those dollars are determined. And so it really, for our district, it supports a lot of our kids. So if it comes to the state, one, they're very large grants, and do they have the capacity to manage those in the way that, with the existing staff, I know they're struggling just to kind of figure out some of the AEA pieces and the stuff over the last year. And would they change any of the requirements and in terms of how those funds are identified? And certainly any changes to that could be a detriment to our district and to our students. So again, not sure what will happen with that, but we continue to watch that very closely. So with that, questions for me? But the sun is shining, the weather is warm, there's a lot of good things happening in our buildings. We just need some of this legislative stuff to sort itself out.
Thank you. Moving to the action portion of the agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the Board of Education and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a director so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence. 1 minutes, 2 employee recommendations, 3 bills and claims, 4 policies third reading, 5 policies with no or minimal changes required by law, 6 Iowa Natural Gas Program Agreement, and 7 an employee settlement agreement. How would the board like to proceed?
I move to accept the consent agenda.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. That'll move us to item I, to approve the following resolution. Resolved that the Board of Directors of Muscatine Community School District will levy property taxes for fiscal year 2025 to 2026 for the regular program budget adjustment as allowed under section 257.14 Code of Iowa. How would the board like to proceed?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Discussion portion, we have Tom with the February financials.
Okay, thank you. So as our guest speaker is arriving via Zoom, tonight I'm presenting the February financials. Obviously our deposit balances are reconciled, treasurer's reports presented, and your comparison general fund actual versus budgeted revenues and expenditures. So As you know, last month I reported about outstanding instructional material fees, busing, instrument rental, and other fines and fees. So we follow the guidance from the Department of Ed, Iowa Code Chapter 301.1, that authorizes what our allowable fees are and what fees are subject to fee waivers. So last week we started notifying parents through the Parent Square application, or the Parent Square app, of outstanding fees. So that we started last week. And so we did see an uptick of collections, so we hope that's helpful. And we're going to do that every month. We'll continue to notify parents monthly through the Parent Square. So, as I stated last month, several months ago, I became aware of a company called Municipal Collections of America, and they can assist public entities with collecting outstanding fees. So, Mr. Jeff Wood with Municipal Collections of America, he's going to be joining us here via Zoom. And as soon as it's set up, okay. All right, Jeff, can you hear me now? You got
I can hear you okay. Can you hear me?
Okay, there we go. All right, Jeff. So I'll just turn it over to you, and I let the board know they have a summary, I think it should be at your board table, of what Jeff's going to go over. So go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. Thank you, and board members, thank you for having me here this evening. My name is Jeff Wood, and I'm the president of Municipal Collections of America. And we are a family-owned and operating business, and for over 30 years, we have designed and implemented revenue recovery programs for local government agencies. We've served the city of Muscatine for nearly 15 years, and we currently work with approximately 25 cities in Iowa and about 450 across the country. 2 years ago, we rolled out our first program designed specifically for community school districts. And I believe you have the one-page description of our process there. And basically, our program is designed to contact people to make sure that they're aware of the amount they owe and provide them with the opportunity to resolve it voluntarily. For those who refuse, the Iowa Department of Revenue set-off is an inclusive component of our program. The set-off will intercept any casino winnings or state income tax refunds and apply it towards the amount that's owed to the district. And then finally, when we're structured properly, our services are performed at no cost to the district. Per the Iowa Code, a 25% late fee is added to the debt at delinquency, and upon payment, the district receives the full original amount owed. Now, this program has been very successful in other cities and other districts, and in the districts in particular, there's been no issues or pushback from the families. It does require some initial setup, but once it's in place, there's minimal district staff time required. So I'll stop here just to address any questions you may have.
Any questions from the board? I will say that I have been in contact with Comanche Schools. I have a colleague up there that has used and is in the process of using this program, and she's found it to be pretty successful. There's a lot of upfront work, like Jeff was saying, but then after that, it's been working well for Comanche.
So this is covered then by those late fees? Is that what covers the cost?
That would cover, the cost of it would be the 25% late fee that would be assessed before it gets turned over, correct?
Before it gets turned over?
So, yeah. So we would turn it over. We would notify parents. There would be a 25% late fee if they don't do anything. And then once we turn that over, the 25% goes towards the program. The school would collect the full amount that was owed to them, to us, yeah.
Yes, basically the final notice that you send out alerts people that failure to pay or to respond to this final notice will add the 25% late fee. So a $100 debt would become $125 when it comes to us. And then upon payment, we retain the 25 and you get the full original 100 back. So that late fee is a motivator to get people to respond to you. And if they contact you, they'll be able to work out something there or get it resolved. So basically, only those who really continue ignoring your notices will ever be exposed to that late fee.
Is there a certain amount of time before it gets to, what are the steps that it gets to go before it would get to?
So we can discuss or probably talk about that. You know, right now, I think last month I reported to you that over 70% of the 220,000 is from prior years. So, you know, we could do what we can for the current year and then do it as of, you know, say May, June, or July if it's still unpaid at that point.
So Jeff, what is your process to collect this? You send a letter out, you call, or and how many times
Yes.
do you contact those people?
I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
How many times do you contact people then?
Basically, we start with sending out a letter to the person, letting them know that we've been retained by the district to assist with the recovery here. We wait 30 days to allow the person to respond. And if we don't get a response within 30 days, then we'll begin our phone calling efforts to the family. And basically, if they talk to us and they refuse to pay, we're going to stop our phone calls. There's no reason to continue the calls. They've been aware that they have the debt, and then we'll move them forward to the next step, which is the involuntary, set-off program. So basically, we're the last effort to make sure that the person knows they have this debt and has the opportunity to fix it before, anything negative happens, like the set-off.
And I wanted to mention too, because Jeff pointed this out, that this doesn't go against anybody's credit rating or anything like that. So there is no reporting to credit bureaus or anything, so.
Do you handle any payment plans then, or does it have to be paid in full?
We will set up payment plans for anyone who has a financial hardship. Basically, we just want people to make an effort. Just don't continue ignoring the school district. So we'll take payment in full, partial payments, whatever it takes to get it resolved.
Well, my question to you is, can you tell us what is your success rate of collecting this money?
Yes, we've only had it in place for a couple of years now in Bettendorf Community School District and Comanche Community School District. But the results have been most similar to what we've experienced over the last 15 years for utility bills in Iowa. And basically that is that in the first year, they're seeing about 30 to 35% rates of recovery. And I will know in time if it continues on like the utility bills, where we typically top out around 75% rate of recovery after 5 years. So each year as we continue with another tax season, longer periods at the casinos, there's more and more matches that happen. But we have been seeing usually around 75% rate of recovery after 5 years.
Have districts reported that they're receiving more payments too, so they're not having as many outstanding, I assume, once they get that letter that says there will be that 25% fee added? Do people pay?
Yes, and that's, we haven't done it long enough in the districts to say it's a definite improvement, but we've seen it in the cities where your reputation is really important, and we want to make sure that people understand that you're fair about this, but you do expect payment. And as your reputation grows, they will know that there's consequences for not paying the district. So they need to contact you before it goes delinquent. And usually send out several notices before it ever comes to us. We just want them to ignore that.
And if somebody has more than one child at school and they've already been delinquent for one, it may make it easier for them to want to keep up on their payments for the second child.
Absolutely.
Is the district able to look at any current hardships there might be too? So I'm just going to think free and reduced lunch. If we have students that have been receiving that, perhaps missed some applications or something, I know it doesn't back pay. So can we look into those hardships before then assessing more fees?
And we do offer, payment plans to current families that owe us also. So, absolutely that can be looked at, and I want to make sure you understand that our instructional material fee is a fee waivable, and instrument rentals fee waivable, but there's, instrument damages, computer damages, those are not waivable fees. Transportation, like to and from the Y, and then if they're inside of the 2 miles and 1 mile, those are not waivable fees. So, I mean, we can do something on our part. Usually we have communication with the family about, you know, making payments, or it's easy to make a payment on our My School Bucks program. So. So I think if there's no other questions, I think the next step would be coming back to you next month with a proposed agreement that we would sign. And then absolutely between now and then, if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to me, so. All right, Jeff, thank you very much for attending tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Take care. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Announcements coming up. We have this week is Conference Week, March 11th. Tomorrow, our Riverbend Mobile Food Pantry has been moved to tomorrow at 4 p.m. here at the Admin Center. March 13th will be a 2-hour early dismissal. March 14th, there is no school. That's our conference comp day. The 17th through 21st, no school for spring break. March 24th, we'll have a special board meeting. April 1st, the Riverbend Food Pantry returns. April 3rd, 2-hour early dismissal. April 4th, no school. April 14th, community conversations, followed by a regular school board meeting. Are there any other announcements?
It's not, oh,
I was just going to say, I think that should say 5:30, the community conversations.
Oh, it should,
Yeah,
yes.
sorry about that.
That's okay.
yeah, it's not an
Sorry,
announcement.
John.
Okay, an announcement, but I would like to say a few words about the FFA banquet. I mean, it was really an amazing gathering, and really, I mean, seeing the students sharing their stories with everybody and so on was really an amazing event. Also, the Jefferson, I don't know if they call it mini concert or something like that, the one that we attended.
Concert.
Yeah, in the morning. It was an amazing, again, start of a day for the students and for us, those of us who attended that. So thank you to those who organize and arrange such events.
Anybody else? All right. We'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.